Alright guys, I know there's a lot of really good 2025 coasters that all of you are thinking about, such as Siren's Curse, Alpine Fury, Falcon's Flight, but today I want to discuss what could possibly be the most underrated coaster of 2025. This looks like it has top 100 in the world potential, and this is Project Speedboat, going to Walibi Belgium. We don't know if this is the actual name, it could be called Shark Tour, but we'll call it Speedboat for now. This ride looks fantastic. This is advertised as a family thrill coaster, but by the looks of it, it looks more on par with something like Manta at SeaWorld Abu Dhabi. And I know some are like, oh yeah, Manta, that's a family thrill coaster. Yeah, no, that thing looks more intense than like half the Intamin LSM launch coasters that currently exist. And this thing looks right up there. This layout looks incredible. We don't know for sure, but it's definitely possible that this is one of the new airtime coaster concepts that Gerstlauer has released. We don't know for sure, nothing's confirmed, but it would make a lot of sense. And that airtime coaster concept has a 39-inch height requirement, and it's advertised to give a high thrill experience that everyone can experience. This is not Big Bear Mountain. This is a legitimate, intense thrill machine. And I think that's huge, that a park can get a ride like this of this intensity and have 39-inch tall kids ride it. So let's break down the layout, because this looks like a fantastic and dynamic layout. You're going to start off with a very punchy looking LSM launch. All the launches on this ride are LSM, which I'm not happy about. I'm not happy about it. LSMs are pretty good, not necessarily the strongest, but they're definitely not terrible, so we'll take it. And then after this, you're going to hit an ejector-filled Camelback. This looks like it could be on par with the strength of Fahrenheit's final Camelback, but it looks even more sustained. And then you've got a really snappy transition. I don't think it'll be quite as snappy as something like Maverick, but it'll be up there. You'll definitely get tossed around on this one. So, like I said, these first couple elements show if you're expecting a tame ride, even something like Big Bear Mountain over at Dollywood, you're not going to get that. After this, you've got a pretty long and drawn out twist and shout, and I don't think this will give ejector, but it should give really good laterals, because despite it being drawn out, the way you snap in and snap out of it looks very violent. And then after this, you're going to hit some Cheetah Hunt twistiness almost. It looks pretty tame, definitely the tamest part of this first third. It's sort of just building up for the second launch, and then after that, you're going to hit a step down. In the back, this looks like it could give some flowjector, but then after this, you hit what looks like the best launch on the ride, and that's this LSM boost with an airtime hill in the middle. And this one's different than some launches with an airtime hill in the middle, because you're launching through this airtime hill. This is not like Pantheon or Totatis. The launch itself, I'm sure, will be punchy enough, but this is all about that ejector hill in the middle. It looks like pretty good ejector. And then after this, you hit what might be the best part of the ride, and this is this giant wave turn. And I say giant, it's giant for the ride. It's pretty small compared to other rides, but it looks sustained. You're going to be out of your seat for a couple seconds, and the ejector looks pretty good. It's definitely some good ejector. After this, you're going to hit a little stangle dive, getting thrown to the left a little bit here by the looks of it. Then you hit a pretty drawn-out S-hill. Nothing too much here. This is definitely the weakest S-hill on the ride by the looks of it. And then you turn into two bunny hills. These bunny hills look like they'll give some ejector. And then you hit a turn into that third launch, and it looks pretty punchy just like the other two. Nothing too special. But then you'll step up, getting a nice pop of ejector by the looks of it in the front. And then you head up into this drawn-out looking double down. This does look like floater, unfortunately, but it's fine. You got a ton of ejector before. And then after this, you're going to turn to the left and hit an ejector-filled Camelback. Then you're going to turn around, hit a little S-hill. This doesn't look too snappy, but you should fold over a little bit on this, hopefully. And then you got a few more twists and turns that might give some weak laterals and okay floater, going into the brake run. So overall, I think the third is honestly probably the weakest one. There's only one real good moment with that ejector Camelback in the middle, while the others definitely have multiple ejector moments that look really good. And I think these restraints should help out a lot, especially if it is the Airtime Coaster's restraints. Even if it's not, it'll still be good because I like the lap bars on rides like Fire Chaser Express. So overall, this looks like it should be a top 10 coaster for 2025 easily. This is a ride all of you are sleeping on too much. It will shock you. I'm telling you, this is not Hagrid's, this is not Big Bear Mountain, this is not Jungle Rush. This will be a high-intensity ride. This will not even be a family coaster where you're like, wow, I don't know if that should be a family coaster. No, this will really be a high-intensity ride that I think won't be too intense for some people, but do not go in expecting Big Bear Mountain or Hagrid's, anything like that, Penguin Trek. Go in expecting a ride such as Manta at SeaWorld Abu Dhabi, or one of the more middle-of-the-road RMCs like Twisted Colossus. So let me know what you guys think of Speedboat going to Walibi Belgium next year in 2025. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.